Hey, Mark, dude, I gotta tell you about this thing I did in Israel. So
Israel, we're going way back. We're in a way back machine.
We're going way back. I went to Israel in June, but you'll see in a second.
Okay.
So in Israel, we were walking around, and basically a vendor came up next to me as we're walking from one cathedral to another cathedral. Right, we're doing this little path, and this guy's like, he's trying to sell me an old coin. He's trying to sell me a shekel or
a penny,
a denarii, or a mite.
An American penny.
Yeah, American penny. Yeah. They just got discontinued. So one day, people, but he's got these coins in his hands, and he's like, hey, yeah, give me,
Is a shekel a real thing?
A shekel is what the current denomination is called. So
in Israel? No, that's Israeli. No way.
Israeli
I thought that was like a slur.
No.
I thought it was
no. But a denarii or denarius, or okay. I don't know exactly how to say it, but it's famous during the time of Jesus, okay. That sort of thing. And he's got these old coins, and he's like, hey,
Wait, let me ask you something. What does a shekel look like? Because in Europe, they got like coins with holes in them. They're gold sometimes. They're all, what do they look like?
They look very similar to a dime. Like a regular shekel would be look like a dime. They're not real. They're
not fancy. They're circular.
Yeah, the bills are more interesting.
Okay.
Than shekels.
Are they different sizes?
Yes.
Do you know why?
For blind people? I don't know.
That's right. That's exactly right. Yeah. How mean are we in America? We're like the only place you can visit that are not catering to the blind with the currency.
Completely.
Boy, that must be annoying for your wallet.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was. Anyway, so he's trying to sell me on these coins. I finally am like, yeah, sure, whatever. So I buy these coins from this guy. There's no way these things are real, right? There's not a chance. But it's kind of a fun story, so what do I care? And I had, I don't know if you ever are using foreign currency. You're like, this doesn't feel real to me.
Oh, so totally. Yeah. You feels fake. And you got to do so much math in your head, and you finally are like, forget it. I spend a lot more when I'm in a different country.
Like, I don't want it. Anyway, so we do that, and then we go to the this big cathedral, the Church of the Holy Sepulchre, and there's this place where it's like this flat rock, and the legend is, and there's no way this legend is real, but the legend is this is the rock where Jesus came and like collapsed in the Passion story. Like, no, it's not, but people sometimes think it is, whatever. Okay. And you're supposed to, you put something there, and it gets a special blessing. Okay. This is not my jam. This is, but I had this coin on me, and I'm like, I'm not coming back anytime soon. So I have it. It's specially blessed, and then I just put it in a display case. So I have a little display case just right over here, specially blessed. So here it is. It's shiny.
Fancy. That's cool.
Yeah, so it's 3. I have a shekel. I have just a regular modern shekel.
Okay.
That's the denarius. That's the cool one, and that's a mite. It's a little small copper coin. Huh. Yeah.
Very cool.
I'm sure it's
what's the estimated value of that blessed encased trio of coinage?
Probably, if it was real. Okay. And I'm telling you, I own it, and I don't think it's real.
Okay.
If it was real, probably $100.
Okay. Yeah.
Maybe a hair more than that. Like, there was, we eventually went to this like fancier store that had stuff that you would kind of more believe, and they had like certificates of authenticity, and it's like, anybody can print those things up. I don't believe that either. Like, I don't believe any of that. I'm too cynical to buy things. And I was like, and they were trying to sell them for like $200 or $300. But I don't know. So.
Oh, well, pretty neat. That's cool. Always fun to bring back a souvenir or something. And where did you get the case? Amazon?
Amazon. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Corporate overlords. They're on top of us. I just got back from New Orleans. Yeah, I went for the weekend. I went for Skankfest, Terrible name, great festival. Incredible comedy festival. You would not believe.
Oh, it's a comedy festival. Oh, I was expecting something different.
Yeah, you would not believe how big this thing is. This is the biggest festival I've ever been to. It's my 3rd year going. It's incredible. I was in Vegas the last 2 years, and it's just like a number of headliner level comedians. There's like 75 of them.
Wow.
Like an unbelievable number. And there's thousands of attendees. And they're paying $275 for a 1-day pass. It's crazy. It's really quite a thing. Like, I don't know who some of your favorite comedians are, but well, there weren't a lot of clean comedians there. Let me tell you, at a place called Skankfest.
Yeah, I would imagine.
But a lot of big names were there. I get to hang out with all kinds of famous people. I'm gonna talk about a lot of them on the Patreon. But if you want to hear about like I hung out. Do you know who Doug Stanhope is?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, like a legend. Doug Stanhope. We're gonna show a little picture right there. Look at that. Jeff Dye, Doug Stanhope, and me. We'll talk about it on the Patreon. I'll go through everything. They did a naked roast. They had like hundreds of shows, podcast tapings, food, and of course, New Orleans is just a great time. It's such a good place. I got beignets at the airport, and they do not miss with those beignets. They are the best. They've made like millions of them. Like it's all they sell. Oh, I got a great question for you. Okay. MSY is the airport code for the New Orleans airport. Okay. I'm there. You would expect a significant markup at an airport, right? Sure. Beignets, guess how many 3 beignets? Whenever you go to Café du Monde, you have to get 3 beignets. They come on a plate with 3. You always get 3. You can't order 1. You can probably order more, but you can't order less than 3. So 3, I think down in Jackson Square is like almost $3 or 3 and change, something like that. So you want to take a stab at how much it is at the airport?
I would have expected like a regular, like on Jackson Square, to be about $4 or $4.50. It's interesting that they're less than $1 each.
They might be. I actually don't know the price because the one time I made it to the one in Jackson Square, it was 12:30 in the morning and they were closed. Oh. Devastating, Jake. They close at midnight. I missed it by half an hour. Walked a mile and a half.
Yeah.
Did not. I lost calories going for beignets. Try to do that.
That's the worst. You don't.
Pretty impressive.
Yeah.
All right. So, anyways, at the airport.
So let's go double. So I'll say I think the regular price is $4.50. I'm going to say $9.
Okay. So I think I threw you off there. It was $4.53.
Okay.
It was regular priced. It was totally reasonable. And they were unbelievable. Now, this is what I'm really driving towards. Guess how much sodas came in medium and large. Guess how much a medium soda was. This is a Coca-Cola product. Probably, I'm guessing 12
$3? 2 or $3?
And 16 ounces.
I'm going to say $2 or $3. $2
or $3. That's a great guess. That's what I would have thought. $4.53.
Ooh.
The same exact price as 3 beignets.
Wow.
3 beignets, so much better than a medium Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
Unbelievable that they're the same price. And even I don't like on every angle, that soda should not cost that much.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
I mean, you're about to fly. That's the one thing that even really cheap airlines will give you is a little.
You can get it for free. Wait half an hour, you're gonna get it for free.
Little dollop of soda. I mean, not much.
Who's paying? I don't know, and I don't know like why they're doing that.
What is the deal with the cups that they use on the airplane? I don't understand. Like, this is the widest mouth cup I've ever seen. It's super short, but it's like super wide. Like, this is the time what I don't want to spill. This is the last place I want to spill, and they have the biggest opening they could possibly get.
It's the opposite of a toddler's cup.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny. I've never thought of that. That's a good bit right there, Jake. You run with that. Well, I mean, don't run with a cup because it will spill all over you. But
everywhere. Spill everywhere.
Run with a joke. So anyways, it's in New Orleans. What else interesting happened? Went for some runs. I'll talk about Skankfest in the Patreon. By the way, everybody, patreon.com/Mark and Jake. Let's throw something out there, Jake. How about first person to email one of us?
Ooh.
We're going to send you the episode of I don't know exactly how to do this, but I can figure it out. I'll send you the episode of your choice from the Patreon for free.
Nice.
We're just going to, first person to hear this. Now, if you're hearing this in like 2030, it's gone. Okay. Don't email us asking if it's still around. But if it's still 2025 or let's say first half of 2026, send us an email. Maybe we'll do it for a couple people. Anyways, patreon.com/Mark and Jake. We talk about all kinds of things. I get an update on money too. Last week, we talked about my 18-night run, and I had something exciting happen. We're going to talk about it there. Anyway, Skankfest, a blast. So fun. I get to like, it's really cool. I kind of go as a way of learning how a big festival is run. Yeah. I'm kind of known as a festival organizer and somebody who's pretty good. Like people reach out to me who are starting festivals for advice and mentorship and stuff. And this is where I go to seek out advice and mentorship.
Are you trying to get me to start a festival? Is that what this is all about?
You should, dude. We can talk about that.
I just told you. That's right.
What's stopping you? What's preventing you from starting a festival?
That's a good question. I haven't really tried. They did one a few years ago. So that's the first time I did comedy in Louisville. I was living in Denver. I taped maybe even the first time I videotaped myself on stage. I was trying to submit for a festival in Louisville. I was at Scruffy Murphy's.
Okay. And jeez.
Yeah, I know. It's an open mic. It was an open mic to give you 4 minutes, but I needed a 5-minute tape. So I asked the guy, hey, can I do 5 instead of 4 so that I can send in this tape? And looking back, I'm like, there is no way they should have let me into this thing because the light of the stage was green. So I'm completely green the whole time. And I'm doing 5 minutes at an open mic as my submission.
Unreal.
I didn't know.
You got in. You were funny. Yeah, funny. I mean, let me tell you, festivals, they're a lot of work. They're a ton of work. And being behind the scenes at Skankfest, man, so like what a great team. Everybody there is awesome. Yep. And everybody's working super hard and we're all rowing in the same direction. And there's a lot of, you'd think with a name like Skankfest, there wouldn't be as much love as there is, but there was so much love for comedy. And it's a terrific, I can't wait. I really hope it's in New Orleans again next year because I love New Orleans. And it's just such a blast. I'll block it off on my calendar every year to go. I do hope one of these years I get to perform there, but I'm totally happy hanging backstage. And let me tell one more story. We're going to tie it back to a previous episode where we were talking about little people. You remember this?
Yeah.
You know who Brad Williams is?
I do.
Had a fairly lengthy conversation with Brad Williams backstage. Asked him, he's a big Broncos fan. I don't know if you knew that. Huge Broncos fan. Funny sentence about Brad Williams. But here's the question, Jake. And this is really for our listeners. If you can, or viewers, if you can leave a comment, I didn't want to ask him, but I will ask the next little person performer I talk to, what is the etiquette on having a standing conversation with a little person? Now, I don't know how tall Brad Williams is. Somebody could Google it. I'm going to say 3-ish feet tall. I'm over 6 feet. We are like, I mean, it's difficult to have I'm hovering and then I'm like crouching a little bit and then I'm up tall again. And I didn't know, like, should I suggest we sit down so that we're kind of like face to face? Do you know?
I don't know.
Yeah. So
I don't know if there's I
didn't think of it ahead of time. I got into the conversation. Normally my head would be like, don't get into that conversation because you don't know what to do.
Yeah.
And I just it didn't occur to me. I was kind of excited to talk to him, especially about the Broncos because they're doing great this year. I asked him this is, from the horse's mouth, everybody. I asked Brad Williams if the Broncos were going to win the Super Bowl this year. No, he said. And since then, they beat the Kansas City Chiefs, so he might be wrong.
That's right. Yeah. They've really looked good all year. But
so if anybody knows, what's the protocol on talking to a little person? I would like to know.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
I saw. Go ahead. I got another story. I'm going to write a note down about a tall comedian. I got a story about that.
That's me. So I did a show for a fundraiser on Thursday. So I did 3 corporate events this last weekend. 3 back-to-back, Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Weren't you in like Oklahoma or somewhere new to you?
Yeah, I was in New Albany,
That's
Indiana,
exciting.
which is not very far from me. It's basically Louisville. And then I was in Chillicothe, Ohio, and then I was in Oklahoma City, which was all super fun. It was kind of stupid on my part. I wanted to go to Oklahoma City because there's a club there. I wanted to, go to the club and talk to but I ended up just having to wake up stupid early before 5 a.m., drive all the way there, do the show, be so dog tired, go to sleep, wake up, come home, basically do nothing but the show in Oklahoma.
Oh,
yeah.
That's too bad.
Yeah. Which was, the show went really, really well.
Yeah. How were they? The different shows?
Yeah. I did the first one was for this fundraiser, this like gala event. It was like black tie. It was.
Did you dress up?
I did not. I dressed the same way I dress on stage. So I dress all in black. So I look pretty good.
Yeah.
I would blend in with
that black Adidas sweatsuit. Looks great.
That's right. But I'm still.
I just want to throw out to everybody, I own a tuxedo. I would love to do your event and wear my tuxedo. It still fits. I did a comedy event recently in it. I am available.
Wow.
With tuxedo. I will show up like a penguin to your event.
You performed it. I've never performed in a.
It was behind a podium, so I don't know if I consider it. It was like a gala for firefighters. Yeah. So wasn't it like I was like strutting around stage? Although I did. No, that's not true because I did a second event. I did a Family Feud thing at a church, and that one I did a stand-up set ahead of time, and I was walking around. And let me tell you, those shoes, they stink.
Yeah.
If I had to do it again, I might even wear sneakers with the tuxedo.
Nice sneakers. I had a buddy who, for some reason, had to wear a suit. He was doing an open mic, but it was at the comedy club, so it was a decent open mic. But he had to wear a suit for some reason.
Okay.
And he came in, he's wearing this suit, and he does his set, and it was like it went really well. And I'm like, I think the suit might be working for you. Like I have considered. I don't know if you've ever considered this. Have you considered like being a suit guy?
Yeah, I actually wore a suit once to New Talent Night at Comedy Works, and I forgot the belt. And I got all dressed up in the bathroom before I realized it, and I was like, I'm just doing this. And the tape looks so ridiculous.
Really?
Yeah, it doesn't look great. I should have found a belt.
Well, yeah.
But yeah, I think like if you're doing a corporate event, like I'm doing it. Well, I'll probably talk about this later, but I'm doing a show for some surgeons coming up. And I'll probably dress up a little bit. I'll probably wear a collared shirt, which I almost never do. Yeah. I mean, that's not really a suit, but yeah. I've thought about it,
Because I mean, Jerry Seinfeld, he wears a suit. I mean, he's got a suit. He's got a tie. A lot of guys. Yeah,
I didn't really think about that. I think he's financially successful.
Yeah. And so
maybe that's the secret. Maybe we just need to wear a suit. Maybe we'll make it if we just change our clothing.
I think there might be something to it. I mean, you come in there, you look like I tell you this, guys that come on stage that look like sloppy just messes. Mm-hmm. You just don't want to hear from them. I don't want to hear from them.
It depends. I will say, I don't know why this is, but often the funniest people are absolute slobs. I don't know what the deal is, but I do know what you're saying, but I have seen many a slob murder.
Yeah. So, yeah. I mean, I'm saying it can't.
But you know what they say, Jake, dress like $1 million.
Yep.
Get 2 drink tickets to perform at this show.
That's right. That's all there is to it. Yeah. So the show was a gala is what I'm getting at. And it was weird because
this is night 1 or night 3 in Oklahoma City? Night 1. Okay.
Night 1 in New Albany. It's fun. My wife came with me, which she doesn't usually. And she was able to she went to the gala. She got dressed up.
There you go. You got free dinner, free meal times 2.
Had pictures together. They had this like rotating photo booth thing where you stand on this platform and then the thing spins around you, which is kind of neat.
Yeah. You get like a video instead of a photo. Yeah, cool.
You got that. That was a lot of fun. But so I'm sure this has happened to you. and it's happened to me before, but it's one of those things where like, so I did my set. The audio, so many people told me later that like, hey, we couldn't hear you.
Oh
And
no.
they're doing it during while they're handing out dessert. So half the people are leaving, they're coming, and it's like buffet style, blah blah blah. This is happening. So my set was, I'm not. They seem to enjoy it just fine. No complaints. It was okay. It was okay. It would have been nice to have a little bit more. There were the round tables where half the audience is not looking in the right direction.
Yeah, I hate that. I mean, they can obviously swivel, but if they're eating, that's not great.
A really big room. It was just not.
How do you get this gig? Was it online?
It was online. I think they just went through my website, but what it was is they booked me for last year.
Okay.
And they paid a deposit, and then they had to postpone it. And and then they basically like, hey, we'll give you some extra because we had to postpone it. I'm like, all right, that's fine.
Nice.
They're wanting to do it on a Thursday anyway, so it's like Thursdays are not hot commodities.
Yeah.
But then after I get off stage, it was all fine. There was laughs.
How long is that?
25, I think.
Okay.
Around 25. And then
let me ask you something. Do they have lighting or just sound?
No,
yeah. I almost none of the corporates I do have lighting.
No. And then the organizer gets back on stage and makes like a 5-minute long, really sincere, you guys are doing so great. You guys are the best, all of this, like all of the good work that we're doing, all of the, like this really heartfelt speech. Like, I just got off stage telling really dumb jokes. I mean, you feel like a doofus.
Well, better that than the opposite direction.
That's right. Yeah. That's right. But then I'm just sitting there, and I haven't gotten paid yet, so I'm just like sitting for the rest of the night, and like, all right. My wife's like, should we leave? I'm like, I haven't gotten paid. So no. Like, let's get the check, and then we'll bounce.
All right. So I got a tall comic story and a funny potential stage name story and a ton of stories. The eve of Skankfest, before I flew out, Thursday night, I'm in Denver. I go to Comedy Works. I don't know how to say his name. Gianmarco Soresi is there. Have you heard of this guy?
Yeah.
He sold out like 10 shows at Comedy Works. Wow. Unbelievable. I wasn't even sure I was going to be able to get in. Comedy Works, the best. Thank you for taking care of me. Had a pretty good seat, except I felt so bad. I sat right in front of 2 shorter women, and the whole show, I just slouched. Like an hour and a half show, I just slouched so that they could see over me. So when I got there, the host / feature was on stage. This guy's name was Liam Nelson.
Yes, yeah, I know him. Yeah.
Oh, you know him?
I haven't met him personally, but he's come through Cincinnati.
What an outstanding name. Sounds just like Liam Neeson, easy to remember, but not quite exactly the same.
Yeah.
It'd be like being Mark Hamilton.
Yeah.
Like I think that's what a great idea to come up with a name that sounds like something, or Marilyn, I don't know, Bonroe, like almost like it's easy to remember. Anyways, the interesting thing about him is, do you know this?
I know he's tall. I don't know exactly.
He's tall, 7 feet tall, dude.
Yeah.
And the downtown Comedy Works stage, I'm guessing it's 7'4". I mean, there was like no clearance. His head was at the ceiling. It was wild. He looked like a cartoon up there. It was crazy. But here's a wild thing about this show. They had, do you know what black magic cameras are? No. Filming, they're like cinema level cameras. And they had the 8K versions. They had 3 of them. They had 2 fixed and they had a floater. They had 2 employees, not Comedy Works employees, Gianmarco Soresi employees, manning. One of them was on the roaming camera. The other one was on the roaming microphone. I've never seen this before. We're going to get back to that in a second. And he was sitting at a station that they had, like, they brought in their own table. that they had like a wireless receiver on and all kinds of information, and was collecting like they had microphones up on the stage. They had special lighting on the stage. It was like a full-on Hollywood production that they do every single show, as far as I can tell.
Wow.
So the craziest thing was anytime Gianmarco would do crowd work, this guy would run over with a Zoom recorder and one of those like spy movie microphones and get as close as he could, but usually like 20 feet away, and point it at the person who was talking so that they were getting audio of the audience member talking. And I was watching the whole thing. Like Gianmarco would be careful not to be super funny right away, you know? So like he wouldn't go into it immediately to give the guy time to line up with the person. He'd ask like the most boring question. And then there's staff like trying to serve drinks and are navigating around this person. It was it was wild. Very, very impressive.
That is impressive. So he's obviously is he a crowd work guy? Is he doing a lot of that, or is he doing just?
You know, I think I'm not a big like social media guy, but my impression is that if you're on like Instagram or whatever, it seems like he's a big crowd work guy.
Yeah.
But I mean, he did at least an hour, and he probably only did 10 minutes of crowd work. And this is crazy. He just put out a special on YouTube. Throw out a wild guess how many views somebody like him could get on a special.
2 million.
Good guess. 3 million.
Wow.
I know. Wow is the right response. Like that is impressive. Like that's when the industry made a mistake. Yeah. Like that should have been picked up by at least Hulu, you know?
Yeah.
By the way, sidebar, did you know Stroop has a Netflix special?
I know he yes.
Coming out in March. I'm so excited for him. How cool is that?
I just heard him because he was been planning this special, and I've been following some of that, and then I just heard that, oh yeah, it's a Netflix special. Somebody referred to it like that. I'm like, oh, he must have sold it. He must have.
Unbelievable, dude. Yeah. So that's cool. I've done an open mic with that guy.
Yeah.
And he has a Netflix special. Unbelievable. I'm so excited for everything he does. He's the best. Everybody check out Derek Stroop. But anyways, Gianmarco Soresi has a YouTube special, just came out, 3 million views. I mean, I'm talking like within the last month it came out. So I was kind of curious to go to this show to see like, how does somebody who just released a special, like, what does it look like? You know, like, do they have any material? Dude, he had an hour of material, all very good. Like he's already got a pretty, I mean, it's maybe not cohesive. And I listened when I was doing the long drive on that 18-night run. I listened to the YouTube special that he had. It's great. It's very good. And he didn't repeat any of the material, none of it. In fact, at the end of the night, he let everybody know, Sold Out Comedy Works, hey, please go watch my special. And by the way, if you liked me, which they loved him, it's an hour of stuff you have not heard. So you can go home right now and get a whole nother hour of me. What a power move right there.
That's a power move. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Incredible.
And I mean, the idea of, hey, I'm going to do crowd work and we're going to film it great. And we're going to do this. I got in the habit of doing basically filming every single set that I'm doing, and you know, I'm not sure if I'm gonna go back. You know, just something happened here. Hello?
Are you still on?
I'm still on, and apparently it's still recording.
Oh boy. Okay, well, just tell people I'm on the cell phone.
Yeah.
And maybe I lost my internet. I'm gonna try and hotspot.
All right.
All right. So just talk to the camera for a little bit. I'll be honest.
Yeah, you got it. So no, okay. So Mark, his internet dropped. He's gonna join by hotspot. This is fun. But I've got plenty to talk about without mentioning him. The next night, so that I had the corporate event in Indiana, and then in Chillicothe, Ohio. The interesting thing about this one was the guy, like, just ran into my Instagram DMs, which is really weird. It's always weird to like, hey, a guy I've never met just DM'd me on Instagram and be like, hey, can you come to my city? And I was sure. But looking back, I probably could have done it alone. Knowing now what I know, but I didn't quite know that then. So I wanted to bring an opener, and the guy was, cool with about bringing an opener. So I was able to bring a guy who lives in Indiana, but he was able to come to the show, and I made him drive, which was, not the. It's what it is sometimes. Sometimes you just have to make the guy drive. So Mark is back, so now he can hear the end of
Okay. I don't know if I'm supposed to laugh or if it was a sad story or whatever.
No. He can hear the end of my Chillicothe story. I was telling him I made the opener drive for me, which was great.
Nice.
But we put the address in wrong. And so we get to the right city.
Well, hold on. Let's break down this sentence.
Yeah.
We.
Yes. So they
define we.
Well, the booker texted me the address. I read it out word for word for the other guy to put in his phone.
Okay.
So he put the address in wrong.
Okay.
He was driving.
Like what was wrong? Did he put like lane instead of street, or did he like?
It was something like that. I think it was supposed to be in East 2nd Street, and he just put 2nd Street. And so we pull in, and it's at a like the outskirts of a prison, and it has signs that say "Do not pick up hitchhikers." And there's a couple like weird outbuildings, and I've never been here. Of course, it was supposed to be like this event center. I'm thinking maybe it's that. I don't know. I don't know. And then I put it in the right one. We were only like 7 minutes away from the real place.
Oh yeah. That's good. That's a good GPS error.
Yeah, we go to the 7 minutes, and it's like this really neat little downtown, really cool vibes. People walk in. It was like night and day, like weird field next to a prison versus a like main street with a bunch of bustling shops and stuff. Like, okay, yeah, we weren't even close. But it was a good time, and this guy was his first time doing 20 minutes, which was interesting because he is now he's a full-time comedian. He quit his day job. He quit his day job, and he's doing comedy all the time.
He's really trying to make it.
He's really trying to make it, and this is the first time he did 20 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. More power. Big luck to him.
Absolutely.
I think we have a recurring segment at this point, and it is Mark is an idiot. We have a new version of Mark is an idiot. Last week, do you remember what the Mark is an idiot last week was? I'm always doing something dumb.
Yeah. You got a sundae that was too expensive.
Yeah, that's true. And I ate expired protein mix. It was the
Veterans Day.
It was the post office that I couldn't get into. Yeah. Okay. Which I think I'm going to turn into a stage bit. I'm going to try that this coming week. I'm doing some shows. In fact, I'm going to make it to do Vets Day joke. Okay, so this is connected to the Mark is an idiot because he went to a post office and couldn't get in to the post office box because it was Veterans Day. So you might also remember from last week's episode that I was scamming United Airlines. Do you remember this? Right. I needed 2 segments, so I flew round trip to Colorado Springs for $100.
Yep.
Now, I checked my status and I did not get credit for those 2 segments. What? And then when I landed in New Orleans, I checked again and I immediately got credit for that segment. And I suddenly was like, oh no, I've made a big mistake. And so after a lot of research and calling United, turns out I purchased basic economy fare to go round trip to Colorado Springs, and basic economy does not count towards, it is not a qualifying segment. So I flew to Colorado springs it back, lit $100 on fire. Mark is an idiot.
Oh my god! Are you going to try it again?
I am on Monday. I'm flying to Phoenix. God, I'll say how much on the Patreon. I'm too embarrassed on this.
Oh my goodness!
Public
well,
episode to say how much it's going to cost. We're going to add the $100 in, and Mark is an idiot is a special segment because I'm kind of a special human being.
Yeah.
I am very careful with my post office box key, and I always leave it in the same place, and I never carry it with me. But because I wasn't able to get in that one day, and I knew I was going back very soon, I left it in my pocket, and somehow I didn't get it out of the TSA bin, which I didn't realize till like a day later. So I also, that Colorado Springs boondoggle, which didn't get me anything. It actually, it not only cost me $100, it cost me the key to my post office box.
Ridiculous. Wow.
Oh boy. So Mark is an idiot. But I do have good news about air travel. Very excited about this. It is jacket season, and I love jacket season in the TSA line. It's the best because instead of like throwing all your stuff loose, you put the stuff in the pockets and you zip them up. When I fly like with a winter coat that has zip pockets, and it's a much smoother operation. I'm already pretty smooth. I'm like moonwalking through. I know what I'm doing when I'm going through security.
Never considered putting the things in the pockets. That's fun.
Yeah, that's great. If you got the zip up, it's a power move, man. Yeah. I gotta say, there's nothing better than the sense of community when you're in a line and everybody turns on one individual. Like today I was at the post office and there was a guy, I think he was sending can you send like a wire transfer from the post office? Like a MoneyGram kind of thing. I think he was doing something very complicated and it took forever. And there was one person and the line kept building and building and building. And let me tell you, if I wanted to start a karaoke group or a bridge club, like we were all in sync that this man must die. Like, get rid of this guy. He's the worst. He's taking forever. He kept asking questions. Every time there'd be like an audible groan. And you'd hear like people would get excited because it looked like he was almost done. And then no, he's pulling something out of his wallet now.
Oh man. Yeah, that's a bummer.
Common enemy.
Yeah.
The powerful.
Dude, let me get your feelings on this. So I drove to Oklahoma City, woke up before 5 a.m., drove 12 and a half hours or so. I checked into the hotel. I gave myself plenty of buffer, so I was able to check into the hotel and then go to the show. I'm at the show. I've been texting with the guy, and I say, "Hey, I'm going to get there at 6:30." He's like, "Hey, that's great. That's a perfect time to get there." I'm like, okay. I get there, and it's this catered dinner, and it's not buffet style. It's like plated, where they're going to come and they're going to serve us and stuff. And I talk like, okay, it's the bar time between 6:30 and 7. Dinner is going to start at 7. You're gonna basically be on stage at 8:15. And I'm like, if I'm on stage at 8:15, can't I just show up at 8? Like, why do I need any of this nonsense? So it's basically like, hey, the guy who booked you, come sit next to me for close to 2 hours and chit chat. Let's have like a bunch of a whole bunch of
it would really let's dive into this a little deeper in the Patreon. We can talk about it here. But I want to know how much you got paid, basically, to see if it was worth it. But here's my move. Typically, when that kind of thing happens, I check in at 6:30 and I leave.
Oh,
I'll come up with like a valid excuse. I'll be like, I got to go move my car. I gotta work on my set. I gotta go shampoo a stray dog. Whatever. They know I'm on site, and I'll usually leave something. Like an expensive camera bag, like they know I'm coming back, but the showrunner in me appreciates the the early accounting for error. You say 6:30, if the person's half an hour late, they still don't miss their spot.
Yep.
So that it gets rid of the nervousness on their end, but Yeah, that social aspect is a totally that's what I'm trying to avoid oftentimes. Although I do want the food. So like when it's good weather, I'll usually like get some food and then I'll go outside and eat the food. And I'll work on my jokes. I'll work on my set list and kind of prep and I usually know ahead of time. Like if there's like an hour plus baked in, I won't spend any time working on my set until I know I'm going to have that hour, so might as well work on it there.
Yeah, which is an interesting. I'm guessing you're saying the same thing as me, but this is something that I have done, and at this point, I just it's just part of it's just what I'm going to do is I'm going to hand write my set list, and I enjoy it. It makes me feels like I am doing something. I'm getting all of my ducks in a row. The set lists are not changing dramatically. It's just like cutting it. I mean, I feel like I'm trying to get it. Hey, we're doing 20 minutes. Okay, we're doing these jokes. We're doing 40 minutes. We're doing these jokes. Whatever. And I like to hand write the set list out. It takes, I know I'm wasting time because sometimes you're doing this. I'll do it for all 5 shows of a weekend at a comedy club.
Yeah.
Every single one. I'm writing it out.
Do you ever get on stage having not done that for some random reason? Does it impact your confidence?
No, I think I mean, this is the way I describe it, is I am performing and most of my attention when I'm performing is not necessarily on what I'm saying. I like to think about it when most of my attention is on the audience, how they're reacting, how these things are landing. Do I need to go in a different direction? Do I need to aim in a different, like, do I need to go after this guy? Do I need to react to something? I mean, when I started comedy, I think most of my attention was on what's the next joke? What's my next line? I mean, all of my attention is on my material, but now it's not. It's on the audience.
Yeah.
I feel like playing the audience is like playing an instrument.
Yeah.
Right? Like, all right, here we go. We're getting in tune. We're getting it.
Yeah.
So but now when I'm doing that and I haven't written the set list, I don't really know what's next. I'm like, what block is next? So some of that attention is now in a third area, thinking about, okay, what's the next bit? Then after that, maybe I'll try to get 3 bits in my mind in a row, and then I can get back into the present moment a little bit.
Yeah.
I've had headliners, Dustin Nickerson being probably my favorite of the headliners that said this to me. He said he's got a printed out set list. He's like, I don't care anymore. Like, I mean, I want to do these new jokes. I don't want to forget them, so I'm just going to have it on the stool and I'm just going to look. I've had another guy who I think it was the first weekend that I featured was at 3 E's Comedy Club, which I think
R.I.P.
Colorado Springs. And I'll have to look back to see who the headliner was because I forgot. But
old guy, young guy,
older guy who did music stuff. He like played the piano briefly. Ooh. Anyway, what he did, and I thought this was fascinating. He had a monitor, like a
teleprompter.
No, like a music monitor. So it's like it's a
speaker,
but it's kind of at an angle. It's got one of those.
Yeah, and so he taped his set list to it.
And it was fake, and it didn't have any cords going to it. It was just a fake monitor. I mean, it's a real monitor. It was
got it. So it was camouflage for the set list.
And so he put it right there in the front. Had his set list in giant letters, so you can just glance down and see it.
Yeah,
and it looked. I mean, a monitor on a stage blends into nothing.
Yeah, exactly. You can even step on it. It can be convenient.
So I was like, man,
that's kind of cool. That reminds me, there was an old guy, a very good. He was either Lewis or Floorwax, one of those two, but kind of like a Denver legend. And he used to pop into New Talent Night and some other Comedy Works stuff. And sometimes he would bring a set list on that, like a corporate meeting where they have the 2 foot wide by 3 foot long.
Yeah.
Notepad, with huge pieces of paper. And I'm telling you, the words, the letters and the words were like 6 inches tall.
Yeah.
For a set list. And he would just come out and he would lay it down on the floor of the stage. Because his eyesight wasn't very good.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Pretty incredible.
There's a guy named like Gio, I think he's in Denver.
Geosynchronous. Gio.
Okay, let me see if I can find him.
It's a shop owner. Gio. I'll tell a quick story about Gianmarco Soresi that I didn't tell earlier when my internet went out. We talked in a recent episode about jokes per minute and the difference between a host and a feature and a headliner. And I kind of made a point that, headliners, sometimes they have a different cadence because they're telling longer stories. And I noticed a pattern in Gianmarco's delivery that I was fascinated by because it was so effective, so funny, and I don't recall seeing it before or observing it. And so here's what it is. He will tell a very funny one-liner that sets up a premise and then go into a long-form joke that is not super punchy, but will end with a huge pop on that premise. So he like gets you interested in the premise with a one-liner, and then he turns into a storyteller about I don't know, trans rights or whatever. So he's got like a killer one-liner and then story time. And then in the story time, he's very present. Like you can't really tell you can as a comedian, but the audience doesn't know like what's material and what he's like making up on the fly. And he's kind of like, he's very much using the audience as an instrument and like, oh, you guys didn't like that, but how about this angle? So, but the one-liner, there's no deviation. I'm sure he never changed. Like it's written like Jerry Seinfeld would write a one-liner. I've never seen that before. I thought it was pretty cool.
No, I've never seen. I haven't seen it. I mean, there are sometimes comedians do things that you're like, that's interesting. Steven Rogers, I think, does this thing a lot. Maybe not every single time, but he'll do a joke, get a laugh on the joke, and then do a act out and get a laugh on the act out.
Yeah.
He does it again and again and again. You're like, wow, that's good. But so the guy I was thinking about was Gio Giovanni is his name.
Okay.
He lives in Lakewood.
Okay.
I met him in a basement in North Carolina, and so we were doing 2 sets. We were doing I got booked and he got booked separately. So and we were chatting before the show. He's like, "Are you clean? You dirty?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm clean." Okay, well, And so we decided I'm going to go first. I think we were like the same, but we're
billed as co-headliners.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're in a guy's basement, like a rich guy's basement. Now he had 40 people there. And this is better than some shows.
Okay.
40 people there. He had a stage. He had good sound equipment. He had good lighting. He had good chairs for the audience. But we're in this rich guy's basement. He has done this before. He knows what he's doing. And he's like, okay, well, if you're clean goes before dirty. And I'm like, yeah, I totally agree. But the interesting thing is I had a laminated set list. And so I used to do this. I don't do it anymore now. I handwrite them out. But I had every single bit that I've ever written on one piece of paper, and then I'll take and laminate it, and I'll take like a dry erase marker, and I'll like cross off the ones I'm not going to do today to leave the ones that I am going to do.
Okay.
And Gio also had a laminated.
That's hilarious. That's so funny.
Yeah, he bombed so hard. I've never felt worse.
You're a tough follow, man.
Yeah, I mean, I was just, myself, which on stage, I'm, funny, but also like upbeat and, likable. And he went so dark, so political, so mean and gross. And it's like, they hated it.
Oh, man.
I was trying not to just die of laugh. I mean, I thought it was so so funny because
It's one of my favorite things in comedy when a joke doesn't get any laughter,
yeah,
but then you hear comics laughing. And
yeah.
they're not laughing at the joke. They're laughing at
No,
the audience reaction to the joke.
oh my goodness. And it's to me, it seems so obvious that these people are not going to like this.
Yeah.
And he just went after it.
Crazy, crazy. Let me ask you a follow-up question to your timing scenario where you were stuck having to wait to perform.
Yeah.
Do you feel, let's say that was an hour and a half wait, and then in that other gig where you had to wait for your check, maybe an hour and a half, which one, like, are they the same? Are they equivalent, or is one worse?
Yeah. So it ended up the waiting for the check was probably a little bit more boring because they would just did speech after speech and then giving out awards to people I don't know, things that I don't know what's happening. They had a couple of speeches that I thought were pretty interesting, like people that this was a charity event, and they had people that had been helped by the charity, like a couple years before and kind of gotten their life together, and then given the speech and like saying thank you, long, and that was interesting. My wife was also with me, and she was like, "Can we go home? It's a Thursday. I had to work
Right.
10 hours that day. It's time. I'm tired. I mean,
Yeah.
let's go home." But the the other one ended up
Let
being
me ask a question about that. Are you one of these people that won't leave without the check? Like, would you ever consider saying, "Here's my mailing address, just mail me the check"?
oh no. I want the check before I go on stage, but that is not always possible. Yeah,
Got
I'm not leaving without a check.
it. Okay.
No, 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 absolutely not. That has only happened twice where one was a school where I had all my ducks in a row, but they were like, "Yeah, we still mail it." I'm like, "Okay,
Yeah.
whatever." And then the other time was a nursing home gig, and they said they would mail it and never did. So,
Oh,
um,
no. See, I've never gotten stiffed, thank goodness, with a mailing situation. But a lot of those, almost all my nursing home gigs, they mail the checks, and
yeah.
a lot of gigs mail the checks. I would not stick around an hour for a check. I would
Oh, no.
just say, "Hey, why don't you, I'll email you on Monday and we'll
Yeah.
figure this out." Um,
Well, if once they hand you that check, it's over. We're done. I don't have to
yeah,
say. So,
right,
and I get to say goodbye and not like that weird little whisper, "Hey, goodbye. Thanks for having me."
right.
Like
Yeah,
I like
yeah.
to say a good goodbye. I have been accused in my life, mostly by my brother, of being bad at saying goodbye. Like you just leave sometimes, and I'm like, okay, I'm like, well,
You're
bye, whatever.
you're an expert at the Irish goodbye.
Yeah,
Nice.
I'll just so I'm trying to get better. I like when I'm dealing with clients or people that have booked me or whatever. I go out of my way to be like, all right, what my brother gets on my case for not saying bye, not only in person but also on the phone. I will just sometimes hang up and be like, all right, I gotta say goodbye on the phone.
That's funny. That's funny. All right, I got an annoyance. Here comes an
Yeah,
annoyance. So I fly to New Orleans, and in the morning, it's a kind of early flight, not one of these like 6 a.m. flights, but I think it's like a 8 or 9 a.m. flight, and a series of unfortunate coincidences happens such that I cannot eat before I leave. In fact, actually, I remember one of the unfortunate things that happens, and I'd like to address it.
yeah,
And this is to Google. I have an Android phone, and I think I'm not 100% on this. I'm gonna have to verify it, but I believe that if you schedule an alarm by voice and you plug in your phone, it does this thing called adaptive charging. Do you have iPhone or Android?
iPhone.
iPhone. Do they do that thing where like it will charge so that it
Yeah,
hits 100% right when you wake up, basically?
right.
Okay. If you then, so let's say it's 10 o'clock at night, you set your alarm for 5 a.m., you plug it in, it's got the adaptive charging going, and then you wake up at 3 in the morning and you want to scroll mindlessly because you're trying to fall asleep. And of course, you're an idiot and you think this is a good idea. And your phone unplugs, everything goes haywire and the alarm turns off. Because let me tell you, on that day, I woke up well after 5, feeling pretty refreshed. And my
Yeah,
alarm never went off. And it was not on the screen anymore. I have to recreate this to see if that's, anyways, that's not the point of this story. The point of this story is I needed breakfast. Chick-fil-A, had 0 line at DIA, unbelievable luck. But there were like 5 people waiting for their food. So I order my food, I get a chicken biscuit, and they give me a thing. It's like number 106, and they ask for my name, and it's Mark. And then they start calling out the orders, but they're calling them out by name, not number. So like my name is Mark, and somebody else's name was Mario, and they're like, Mar, and it's like, why not just say the numbers? Like, I know Chick-fil-A is all about being friendly and like, but I'm on the train counting end of the spectrum where let's just go with the numbers. Okay. Yeah. It's way easier to decipher. There's going to be, it went at their rush time. I really wonder if they switch to the numbers at some point, because there's got to be 10 Allisons and 6 Marks. Like, what do you know, Mark, and then 3 people rush the area. It was insane. What a crazy situation. But the sandwich was so good, Jake. Oh my goodness. I was starving. It was delicious. I waited till I got on the plane. It was like, I felt like I was in first class, and I definitely was not. So that's pretty fun. Any thoughts on that? Are you pro number or pro name?
Oh, I'm pro. Yeah, I think I'm pro number. I mean, I think I would trust the numbers better, but I'll tell you this. So I headlined Louisville Comedy Club. This was a couple of years ago, and I was doing a little bit of crowd work during it, and I was talking to this guy, and he said, I don't, whatever his name is. He's like, yeah, but my sandwich name is Kevin or something like that.
It's like your Starbucks name.
Yeah, I'm like, sandwich. I've never heard that term. He didn't say coffee name, Starbucks name. He said sandwich name. I'm like, sandwich name.
I would not get. Well, and where were you? What was the context?
I was headlining a comedy show.
That's unacceptable. If you're at Joe's Famous Deli or whatever, that is a reasonable sentence. I'm with you. That is.
He's like, that guy off the sandwich name is this, and so I had a good response, which I said my sandwich name is Ruben. But
nice.
The crazy piece is, and I mean, this never happens, but the next day I was at Valvoline, and I'm getting my oil change, and they had to do something where I had to get out of the car because Valvoline, they don't make you get out of the car. I had to get out of the car and go sit down in the middle of the lobby. Okay. And this woman who works at Valvoline comes up to me and be like,
I want to make a joke, but I don't want to make a joke. They had to jack up the car.
So I had to get out.
I'm sorry, Jake. My apologies.
Yeah,
they didn't have the hydraulic. The hydraulics were out.
They're not gonna. Okay, hold on. If they're jacking up the car, nobody is allowed to be in the car. It's not just big fellas. But I did have that one time where I bought tires, and the guy's like, "We need to make the alignment with you in the car." I started laughing. And he's like, no, I'm serious.
Yeah.
Oh, crap, man. Anyway, so I'm at Valvoline. This woman who works there comes up to me and says, hey, you comedian? I say, yeah. And she says, that sandwich name thing was so funny.
I missed that. Did you tell something on stage about it?
I did crowd work.
Okay. Oh, that was the interaction. I see.
I say the guy. I forget the actual names, but it would be like me and you. I would say.
So sorry, I missed that part. I thought you were in the green room and it was another comic.
No,
it was an audience member.
I say, hey, what's your name? And he says Mark, but my sandwich name is Kevin. And I'm like,
yeah. Well, usually it's like
what's your name? That's how he answered. What's your name?
Yeah. I mean, was his name that plain? His regular name?
His name was a plain. He did have a plain name.
Oh, then that's pretty silly. Because usually it's like, you see this open mic joke all the time. My name is Hanamana Pala.
Yeah.
But my Starbucks name is Tina.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. Yes, I'm angry for you. But that's so cool that the Valvoline guy.
Yeah.
Or your mechanic saw you do that crowd work. That's fine. Did you get a discount?
No.
That stinks.
No, that stinks.
Let's not go to Valvoline anymore. Okay, we're going to do some plugs. This is coming out December 1st, and we're going to go into the Patreon. The Patreon is going to be spicy. I got some good Skankfest stories. I got some nudity stories. I got an angry lady on a plane story, and I'm going to have an update on the 18-night run accounting We'll run through those numbers again. You can see what it's like trying to make it out on the road. This is coming out December 1st. I have a new holiday party, which is private, so you guys don't really care, but it is coming up, and it's for surgeons. So I have to write some jokes for surgeons. Jake, maybe on the Patreon we can spitball. We've done this before. Maybe we can spitball some surgeon jokes.
Fun.
That is December 12th up in Loveland, Colorado. December 6th, I'm in Colorado Springs. I'm doing a private event for 2 aerospace companies. That show was in jeopardy with the government shutdown, but it's back on, baby. We're back on. Going to be like 175 people there.
Nice.
So gonna be fun.
Yeah, I'm looking to book some of those. I've put in for a dozen. People have asked for all these holiday parties. I haven't gotten booked in December for any of those yet, but I do have one December 20th. We're doing a show in Nashville. Which is a public show, so you can come see that.
Okay, and by the way, Friday, December 19th, I just booked this, and we can talk on the Patreon if this was a mistake, but I'm running a show in Georgetown, Colorado. That will be open to the public. It's about 40 minutes from Denver. You can definitely commute to that. But maybe I should have held out for a private holiday party. I'm not sure. Anyways, we're about to roll over to the Patreon. You can find me at markmasters.co, and there's a contact form there. Jake?
BigJakeComedy.com.
Okay, find us on the Patreon, everybody. Patreon.com/Mark and Jake. Have an awesome week. Thanks for tuning in. See you next time.